Hello YouTubians and welcome back to the 2Kplace. It's your boy Rage in here with another tips and tricks video for 2K22. This one on how to get finishing badges with a low ball handle. Now I'm back on my center which has a 25 ball handle and a 25 speed with ball. So step number one is get rid of the ball. Get it back to one of the guards. And then early on in this video I'm going to show you a couple of less effective methods to get yourself to the rack, but ultimately later on in the video you'll see just pure cheese method that is unstoppable if you do it right. But step number one is get rid of the ball. This particular example I'm about to show you here is juke step. Now to do this, you just keep running around the court and then you flick the right stick and you'll see the little step right there, that little juke step that he does. That's when I flick the right stick. That will create a little bit of space or give you the ability to slip past your defender a lot of the time. It doesn't always work. And again, you'll see it here, little juke step and then into the rim. Managed to get the step on the defender, unfortunately didn't finish the shot. But you get the idea. Flick the right stick as you're running around. As soon as you see your character do that little juke step, you want to dart into the rim. So here's another example of that juke step. Running across the court, flick the right stick, slip the defender, in you go. So you see the little juke step, that causes the defender to freeze just for a split second. It gives me enough space and this time I get the finish. And you'll see here more traditional pick and roll. Unfortunately the AIs tend to drive into the rack and it closes the lane, ruins the whole spacing and it makes it a bit hard to finish. I still get the finish in this case because I've got the mismatch, but ultimately try not to use this method because the AI will mess it up. Look at all the defenders in the paint. Again, it's my career, so bugger them, I'm going up with it. Now, this beautiful method that I'm about to show you is all about getting team take. So you want to play basic defense and play basic offense. Don't go too crazy, don't risk losing the take, just play good solid defense. Get yourself team take, then you want to get the ball into the hands of the guard and you want to call a lob. Now, if you're positioned right, your player as the center will come up and set that screen and you will be open. If you play it right, you'll be open for a lob 9 times out of 10. Now on this one, the AI tries to screw me. I get the ball to the guard, I go to the top. Unfortunately, the AI sets the screen, so the key here is just run around it, get rid of the AI, get close to my guy and start again. Beautiful, every time. Now the key is being the shooting guard or the point guard and then making sure that your character sets the screen. That's the key with it to start with. And again, still not bringing the ball up. You don't want to bring the ball up because you're so slow, it just takes too long. So get the ball into the hands of the guard, call for the screen, bingo, bango, bongo. And there goes Lob City Finisher in the top right hand corner. Now you'll notice it's only on bronze, that's all you need it for at this stage. Posterizer does help, so I'd highly recommend you get that, but really with one finishing badge, Lob City Finisher on bronze, you can start abusing it. Once again, get the ball into the hands of the guard, set the screen with your character, drive across, don't drive in, so don't go into the rim to try and score with the AI. That's not what this method is about. It's about your player scoring on the lob. So go across the court to create that space inside for your player to roll into. Now it doesn't work every time, of course. It's 2K, so sometimes you're going to get screwed like that, but it's going to work a heck of a lot of the time and I highly recommend you use this method. So here we are in the second quarter. I've just got team take triggered again and ultimately we just need to wait to get the ball back in our hands. Now in this particular example you will see that the AI comes over to set the screen because I'm not the closest person to the ball handler. So I just run away from that, wait for them to roll away and then call the screen again. Unfortunately they're still there, so I have to work with it. And the best thing to do is don't force it, just take the play that's on, wait for the next play. There was nothing that I was going to be able to achieve from my player on that particular one. Just wait until the opportunity comes up next play. And that's probably a pretty important message. Don't force it, wait for the right play. That's how you're going to get team take in the first place. And you see here it's half time. I've already got over 4,000 badge progression points for finishing. keep this up, we're going to be absolutely laughing come the end of the game. So we are in the 4th now, and I'm just building up that team takeover, playing good D, and then bang, there's team take. Thank you very much, accelerator perk, and we are back into the lob cheese abuse method. Unfortunately, I completely mess it up here. The defender's sort of pressing me and the AI is sitting the screen, so I'm just trying to step back here, but I hold the stick and I end up putting up an awful shot. Anyhow. Now here, as I'm bringing the ball up, I can see that my player's not going to be the one setting the screen, so I just have to sort of wait for the AI to go away into the corner, get to the top, call the screen from my player, and we are back for a trip to Lob City. Which reminds me again, you'll see in a second, Lob City will pop up. It's only on bronze. It's all you really need, although Posterize is definitely going to help you. I made a mistake here. I threw the ball up court and I sort of forgot the team take thing. I just had a brain fart and I ended up running the AI guy straight into the defender, which made me pick up the ball. It just sort of messes it up. I try to salvage it, but the spacing's all wrong and they intercept the lob. So my bad on that one. But here is an example on how to run it absolutely perfectly. Set up top. Set that screen, so much space. See how I'm running across the court rather than towards the rim. I'm sort of looping the big wide loop to drag those defenders away from the paint. That's the whole point, is you want them to go away from the paint to create that space for your roll. And again, another copybook example. Get rid of the ball, bring it up with the guard, set the screen with your player, run across the court, Lob City. One last example here on how to run it absolutely perfectly. Call that screen from your player, run across the court. Look at all that space. It's so open, it's a lob every day. Well, game's almost over now. One final example, although unfortunately I managed to try and pass the ball to the point guard who has not crossed the court yet, and that completely messes up the play. So I have to try and start it again. The lob doesn't quite connect, but I've still got position, so I can finish it. And that is going to wrap the game up. Now you'll see that I have 47 points, with only 9 of them coming from beyond the arc. The other 38 points are in the painted area. A few juke steps early, a couple of pick and rolls, but ultimately it's playing good defense, playing smart offense in order to get team takeover, and then you go crazy. And don't forget, from my beginner's guide video, and if you haven't checked that video out, go and have a look at it. Check out the bit about perks. Make sure you get that accelerator perk from finishing the crisp brickley drills, and make sure you equip that as soon as you can. Play well, do whatever works for you until you get team take, and then once you've got team take, go crazy with that lob method. As a big man, as long as you play good D and get boards and don't force things on offense, you will have team take in no time. And ultimately, you see there that I have nearly 9,000 badge progression points for finishing from 6-minute quarters in one game. Now you combine that with the finishing drills that you can do in the team practice, and that gives you another 5,300 if you do the right drills. So you can get almost 14,000 finishing badge progression points by playing one game. So really good method, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that noti bell, and leave a comment on what you'd like to see in any future videos. We'll keep pumping out the content when we can, but your support is much appreciated.